Why is Streamlabs bugging? I didn't mean to skip it. My mind frog. Dude. Heck yes. What? You're sick in the head. You're sick in the head. You're just sick. You're like you. Why? You just had one. You just had to do one. You could have saved the others for another day. You're sick. We what? That's so scary. Oh gosh. Understood. It was in Golden Land. Oh, he's watching. He's watching. Very well, very well.
Well then, how will this game be resolved? You may submit or you may resist. Either way, it will truly be an entertaining banquet worth betting my short remaining life on.
In his dimly lit study, occasionally brightened by lightning, Kinsel kept mumbling and laughing to himself. On the antique clock with the intricate design that had been sitting on his desk, the two overlapping hands tilted to the right and began to slide. The measure of time that counted up to 24 had returned to 0 and began to count again. Rose.
Measuring time is a brutal thing. It drags itself all the way to 24 over the course of a day, and then returns back to 0. It certainly did count at 23:59. However, is it ever able to reach 24? If you conclude that it returns to 0 again without reaching 24, how futile it all must be.
That's allegory for this game, how you keep reaching the quote-unquote end, but it just resets every time. But perhaps a person's life is the same. You live aiming for a peaceful 24, and the instant you reach it, you return to 0. People will probably praise the departed, saying that he did reach 24, but he most certainly did not. In the end, he's a 0.
I am different. I will live and reach 24. That itself is the golden land, for that is where Beatrice dwells.
Kinza had been fumbling around with some tarot cards for some time. It looked as though he was trying to divide his own luck with a contest, doing it over every time he didn't like the results. The most forbidden action in tarot reading is trying to predict the same thing twice. To do so ridicules the results of fortune telling, and also disgraces those beings higher than humans that give revelations through the tarot cards. Like my ear, hi Don, I shout in a sec. However, Kinso knew tarot cards shouldn't be used twice because since they've nothing more than a random number generator. RNG, reading them twice will naturally cause a different result to appear. Therefore, reading them twice was only forbidden to preserve the mystique of the tarot card's results. One sec. back. Eva Natsuyuri. I'm just thinking about the art you said. Okay, whatever. Moving on. You gotta be careful, Ruby. You gotta be careful out there. People hunt people like you. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Umineko is also a Halloween game, so it fits for October. You don't know the method. I'm scared. However, that didn't mean that Kinso didn't take tarot reading seriously. Kinso's interpretation of tarot reading was done in a completely different way. I am used to being hunted for sport. The Ruby lore? That was to repeat the reading over and over, without giving up in the slightest until he reached the result most favorable to him. That's like Beatrice! Endless witch! Wow! The mark he set for his most favorable result would vary. But when he demanded the most favorable result in a strictly literal sense, it was the same as simple roulette of luck, where he seeked an arithmetic miracle. However, Kinso used miracles of numbers as the basis of his magical power, so his functioned perfectly well as a magical ritual. I have been doing that. I will start RE0 soon, but also, this is the second time I've streamed Umineko in October, so it was already a precedent set in stone that Umineko is Halloween. In other words, until the result he desired appeared perfectly, he would strive to repeat the tarot readings over and over with conviction, turning the feelings of his heart into prayers, so that when they reached the heavens, they would be sublimed into results. This was Kinso's personal magical interpretation. Wait, Felix, you were there in the last stream. That was when I cried when Maria took Beatrice to the beach. Therefore, even though Kinso's tarot cards were no different from those generally used, the way in which they were used was completely different.
Tonight will not go as I thought.
Kinso stopped his hands for a second. He seemed not to be getting the results he wanted. On the contrary, bad cards that shouldn't throw up so often appeared repeatedly, and continued to interfere with the miracle Kinso wished for. I'm so mad. I'm so mad now. Because now, every time I hear the word miracle in this game, I'm gonna think of Gamsi Makara. I hate it.
Is that how it is?
Kinso seemed to have received some revelation that was different from normal. But judging by the unlucky cards scattered across his desk, it was difficult to imagine that the omen had been a good one. For a while, Kinso closed his eyes tightly, pondering something. Then, as the thunder roared, he made up his mind about something, took the telephone receiver, and dialed.
It is I. Let's get you there. An urgent matter has come up.
In front of the entrance hall, Shalom's once burning face had been cooled off by the frigid air. She had thought that George's proposal would surely come sooner or later. It wasn't as though she hadn't prepared herself mentally, and she had answered by nodding. Had she been reckless because of her youth? Should she have thought about her future more seriously? I wonder if my immediate reply made him think I'm a cheap girl. If I'd at least waited until tomorrow morning, would that at least have shown him I was taking it seriously? Now that she'd already received the ring from George, Shalom kept fidgeting in embarrassment. I should have done this. I should have done that. I'm in your closet. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? As she did, she heard the sound of footsteps splashing through the tunnels. Shannon immediately chased away the emotions welling up inside her. Thank-you-sama. And Kanan come too. I'm sorry. I have to go back soon. She grew stiff, thinking she'd surely be scolded for spending too much time in her secret lover's meeting with George.
Kanon. The master told us to come to the study, saying it was urgent. Let us go.
Huh? Yes, certainly. Not in the round. He said he had a combination of misfortune. How convenient for him, considering he's the one who started the ceremony.
We will enter from the back to let go of us notice us. Hide your footsteps.
Yes. Nessa, take care. You're too noisy. No. I was expecting that Gola might not be part of the evil servants club. But no, never mind that. Like, maybe he wasn't at the start, but then he learned. Kanon was especially good at hiding his footsteps, just like a cat. He was able to suddenly be there without anyone noticing and leave it in the same way. For example, even though he stepped in puddles, the sound he made was far smaller than that of the brain hitting him. Genji also had abilities at that time, or rather those servants called furniture were supposed to be like that. Just like how desks and closets go unnoticed by members of the family. These servants also held it as a great virtue to just suddenly be there whenever they were needed. Compared to that, Shannon's footsteps still strongly asserted themselves. She was trying to hide her footsteps, but compared to Kanon and Genji, well, you could say she was a little more boisterous. Eventually, they reached the back door and the three of them entered the mansion. Immediately they felt something. It was different from a sense of smell, and it seemed to hit the depths of their noses. This hard-to-describe sensation, which you might call a sixth sense, allowed them to perceive that something was different than usual. Genji-sama.
Indeed. Let us hurry.
The sensation made it feel as though a tense something was pressing in around them. Realizing that, the three of them dashed up the stairs, headed for Kinzo's study, while still hiding their footsteps. When they dashed up the stairs, the smell of sweet poison particular to Kinzo's study reached their noses. What is it, Genji-sama? The barrier is dead. Huh? After hearing Kanon's words, she looked at the door to the study. A scorpion pattern was engraved on the doorknob. A powerful word against magic. The final barrier which protected Kinzo himself had been broken. Of course, there was no change to the doorknob that the eye could see. If he's dead, I won't buy it for 1 second. I think Genji is the one... Not Genji. I think Kinzo is the one character that cannot die. No matter what. However, those who could understand these things people couldn't perceive, were all able to recognize that a dramatic change had occurred.
Master! Master! It is Genji. Please open the door.
Genji called in this way after knocking several times, but there was no answer for them study.
Shannon, guard our backs. Kanon, search inside the room.
Yes. Kanon put his ear against the door, searching for a presence inside the study. To protect the backs of the pair watching the door, Shannon faced the other way, ready for the unexpected. The master must be in here, but it's too quiet.
Do you mean to say he's safe?
No, it's too quiet. Could it be? Could it possibly be?
Master, excuse us about the door.
Genji pulled a gold key out of his pocket. It was the only key to the study that existed other than the one Kinzo had. They're already setting it up. They're already setting up the locked door. But again, I don't think Kinzo's dead. If he's alive, it's because he faked his own death somehow. So him having the key, makes sense. He stuck it in the keyhole and turned it heavily. At first glance, it seemed to prove that it was a sturdy lock. However, now that the barrier had been destroyed, this door might as well have been left open from the viewpoint of anyone with magical power. The heavy sounds just now meant that the door had been open even for humans.
Excuse me.
As Genji respectfully bowed his head, and Kanon's sense of tension grew tighter, and Shannon trembled, they entered the study. They immediately discovered Kinzo's figure. He was sitting on the reception sofa so that his back faced them. Genji noticed the person sitting across from him and again bowed deeply. Okay. So we're good. No deaths. Kanon also noticed that person, but he didn't bow his head. He stood in front of Shannon and spread out his arms, blocking the way to her. Even without even seeing the person's face, Shannon already had a good idea of who it was.
So, you have come. Beatrice-sama.
Genji, is it? You came very quickly. Yes, it is always best when furniture answers to this master's call quickly, unlike this person.
So, Umineko-sama has come as well.
Genji directed his greeting towards the thin darkness behind and to the right of Beatrice, where there shouldn't have been anything. Even Kanon and Shannon would never have imagined that someone was here. However, the darkness responded immediately and praised Genji's eyesight.
As usual, you don't disappoint. It has been quite some time. Still, you're grown old, haven't you? Have so many years really passed you by? My days have been full and satisfying. It appears you have been living quite a full life yourself, Umineko-sama.
Yes, thank you.
And Shannon, has been a long time since I last saw you as well. You have grown quite beautiful, and it seems that you have grown quite strong. That is fortunate.
Thank you very much. Nessan, who in the world?
This will be your first meeting, Kanon-kun. I, Ronabe, have been entrusted with the position of Beatrice-sama's head furniture. I am an old friend of Genji-san's, and I am also furniture, just like you. Although the master I serve is different.
The tense color didn't disappear from Kanon's face in the slightest. Depending on the master furniture served, they might be kind or brutal or anything else. If this person claimed to be furniture serving the hated Beatrice, one thing, then he must be despicable as well. It seems I'm thoroughly despised. It's as though you hate everything that has anything to do with me. Beatrice openly sneered at Kanon's hate-filled face. Then Kanon finally realized. Beatrice and Kinso were having a chess game across his reception table, but Kinso hadn't even quivered. He was holding his head with both hands, his eyes closed tight as he contemplated his next move. Or was he in anguish? Master, I have told Kinso two things. There was good news and bad news. The good news is that he'll have the good fortune of being reunited with me before the ceremony ends. The bad news is that Kinso has been selected as the very first sacrifice in the ceremony. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. Because it truly was decided by a fickle roulette. Liar, we know you're just a murderer who kills for fun. Stop it, Kanon-kun. So, Kinso, isn't it about time you decided to accept your loss? With this, our long contest is at an end, Reyes. At a glance, it was hard to make out the situation of the chaotic chessboard. Okay, again, I should say things before things move on too much. So, again, the way I see the whole game is that it's all Kinso's doing. Kinso's behind everything. Kinso's the one who decides who dies. I think the whole schlop about roulettes and it all being luck and chance, hogwash, I think. I think that's just things that Kinso, because it makes sense for Kinso. Kinso likes to pretend that he takes risks. But, he stinks. He's a cheater. He cheats. So, he pretends like, yeah, it's completely random and it's anyone's game, but I think he's cheating because he wants to guarantee that he wins. So again, I don't think Beatrice chooses who lives or dies. I don't think the roulette chooses who lives or dies. I think Kinso does. So I think this is all just a lie. This is all hogwash. This is all... We're seeing delusions and illusions right now. And whatever happens to Kinso is all part of his plan. He wants to make everyone believe that he's dead. So yes, I don't believe it for 1 second. I don't believe it for 1 second. Because Kinso is the mastermind. So, yes. Every time I in real life reads recently, she's in episode 5. I mentioned you, and she thinks you are the mastermind insanely. You are this mastermind insanely smart, and now she. Say that? Okay, thank you. It's very. I feel honored. That's very sweet. Even if it means I'm hated, that makes me feel warm. Thank you for sharing that. Oh. Good. Let her keep thinking of that image of me. Don't tell her the truth. Don't tell her the truth. She doesn't know you are this fellow on today. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was about to say that. Don't elaborate more. Just keep it at that. However, judging by Kinsel's anguish and Beatrice's malicious confidence, it seems to be over already.
It is unbelievable. Unavoidable. Perhaps even this could be amusing.
It is to me too. Resolving my contest with you may bring a flood of emotions, but it has already surpassed love and hate. It was fun. These past few decades certainly weren't boring. This is also another reason why I really believe it's so much of a hot watch. I just don't see Beatrice acting this way towards Kinsol. It's like this Beatrice is the Beatrice that Kinsol imagines. His perfect little doll. Like, sure, maybe she would act this way because she's snarky and being a head, just mocking him in her own way. But it feels a little bit out of character. Like she feels very pity towards Kinsol. So I find it a bit weird, but that's just like a random thought. I don't think it should be looked on too much. I just find it cool to imagine scenes like these where Beatrice is talking all friendly with Kinsol are just things that Kinsol is making up because that's what he likes to imagine. Beatrice advanced her queen and made her final move, and that decided it. Checkmate. This is my final tribute to you. Without any reservations. Crap. Let me go back! Stop laughing for a second! Crap! Ah! I missed what she said. Without any reservations, sleep. Kinsol suddenly stood up and laughed like an opera singer facing a full crowd and spreading his arms, as though he had succeeded in a century-long plan. Ah! It's someone! Michael! Don't leave me here! Michael! That laugh spat Crimson. Crimson flames poured out from inside him, spitting even from his mouth, ears and nose all at once. His body was wrapped in hellfire. But Kinsol kept laughing. The more he laughed, the more the hellfire spewed from his entire body and began to char him. Those flames became a brilliant light, which dazzlingly shone on the various magic tools throughout the room, making their distorted shadows dance across the walls. Those shadows looked like the dead in hell, watching over Kinsol in ecstasy as he burned. I like this so much. I'm going to explain why I like this so much after this is over. And for one who had made a contract with the witch, it was an extremely fitting end in accordance with those terms. After laughing and howling in the roaring flame for some time, Kinsol flew to the ground as though he was a puppet whose strings had been cut. Those incredible blazing flames disappeared as though he'd been completely burned up, and afterwards nothing remained but a festering and burnt corpse that one could hardly bear to look at. So, yo, this is fire! Anyways. Why I really like that was because of how extra it was. All the other 6 Chosen by the Key deaths have been extreme, but they've been like serial killer things. Mash their heads in, carve out their bellies. What was the other one? It was the garage, the chapel. Wait, this is episode 3. I always keep thinking of episode 4 for some reason. So we've only seen 2. So yeah, one is just like mash their heads in. The other one is carve out their bellies, right? This is setting a guy on fire. Hellfire. It's very... like, yeah, it could be done by someone. Like, you can set anyone on fire. But it's very extra. It's very... It's like it wants to be connected to magic. So if I'm right about Kinso making all of this up, it makes extreme sense he would choose such an elaborate, extreme, flashy death for himself. Because he's an egomaniac. He's egotistical. He's not going to go down like any other guy. He wants to be punished by the witches and the demons and hellfire spewing from inside me and burning my body to a crisp. It's a very Kinso thing to do. Even he can't die, quote unquote, normally. So again, it just gives more reason to think that this is all fake. He's spinning a story. He's a storyteller, and I like that a lot. I think Kinso's the one character who cannot die, instantly dies. I know you, but yeah, no. You know, I don't buy it for 1 second. He's not dead. Who are our witnesses right now? Who are our witnesses? The 3 servants, which I already have said since episode 1, are in accordance with Kinso's plans and follow his plans. Nothing that they see can be taken as gospel. They're part of this as well. Like, nah. I don't believe for 1 second. I know you about to say some stuff. Nah, he's still alive. He's just hiding under the desk. It must have been the wind. Horrible. Huh. You should talk. As if you didn't think that was a fitting way for him to die. Why have you shown yourself? Do you have some business with us? Stop it, Kanunkan. You mustn't provoke Beatrice-sama. It would seem you have them absolutely terrified. I imagine I'll never get along with Kanon. Hey, it's not as though I dislike you particularly. Beatrice grinned. Kanon avoidantly averted his gaze, obviously unhappy. His reaction was so different from what he wanted to do that it made the witch ass and her butler laugh. Unrelated, but it's just... I love this game. It's so good. I love overthinking. I love overthinking and being wrong and just looking at everything. I'm doing the same thing with Homestuck. I have made an egregiously long essay on my readings of every class, domain, and title that every troll and kid has. All the revealed ones. We don't know Gamses or Eridans yet. And it's just so fun. I love doing that. It's so fun. This game is perfect for me. I love it so much. I do love it. It's so good.
Kanon, you stand in the presence of Beatrice-sama. Carefully consider your manner of speech.
Oh, I care not, Genji. Let him say what he pleases. I am gracious. How are you gracious? I am always gracious to those who are about to die. Kanon was taken aback by that creepy laughter. Beatrice wasn't there just to take Kinso's life. The first twilight required success. I keep doing this like that. I need to say everything in my head. Earlier I was gonna say, this is weird. Usually not just one person dies at the start. It has to be 6. So I was gonna say, oh, maybe this time all the servants die. I should have said it. Okay, how many do we have here? It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just 4 though. We're missing 2. Kinso alone wasn't nearly enough, and they just casually walked in here. Fear not, Kanon. It isn't as though you'll be selected as sacrifices just because you came here. After all, you were called here because you've been selected already! What? Their instincts were good enough to spout her meaning instantly. 6 sacrifices were required for the first twilight. After Kinsel, how many more would you need to add up to 6? I don't know. In this mention, the number 5 instantly made them think of the number of servants here.
Is that what you decide?
Indeed. Thank me, furniture. Tonight your days of suffering will finally end. You ought to thank me for coming here to tell you this.
Certainly. If that is your desire.
Genji-sama. Genji hadn't agreed to the witch's heartless announcement with his usual demeanor without raising an eyebrow.
Now that the master is dead, Beatrice-sama is our master. Responding to her demands shall be our final duty. Shodan, Kanon, you have done well serving until today. That hard work is now over.
Nope, you didn't say it, and now we the chatters think you were simply thinking about Homestuck and not caring. Okay, now, you know what? I'd rather you all think that than me pretending to have thought it, because that's what I care about. That's what I worry. Like every time, like if something happens, they're like, "Ah, I always thought that. I always thought that. I'm smart." It makes me feel stupid. Can never change that now. No, I prefer that. It's not even a lie. Every time I read something, like every word here reminds me of Homestuck in some way. Every time they mention witch, I think of Jade. As I expected of you, Genji. As your fellow furniture, I'm proud to have known you.
Shodan, do you have any objections?
No.
That George-sama gave you a ring. Do you still say that you have no regrets?
We failed when we wrote. We should have made him read this first. It should have been the other way around. I'm sorry. Back when Beatrice said like this little game of love and hate, I instantly thought about the love quadrants of Homestuck, of the Kismeses and Maid Sprites. I'm sorry that it had to be this way. Bowser, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, the blessing was more than furniture deserves. Just receiving the ring has already satisfied my feelings. Shonen couldn't take quite as much of a philosophical view as Genji. There probably were regrets left in her heart. She probably wanted to spend a little more time with the person she cared for, Judge. But she released herself from that. She took a single deep breath and a blank expression rose to her face.
Very well.
It does surprise me a tad to find that we've gained such composure, Shannon. It seems you too have taken a philosophical view as furniture. All that matters is that Toby Fox read this, and it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. The ending of Deltarune, just you wait. I gotta finish before Deltarune finishes, or Deltarune is gonna spoil me. Won't you at least shed some bitter tears for not being able to spend a night with the man you love? What a boring woman. This feeling cannot be understood by the likes of you, Beatrice-sama. If you desire our lives, please accept them. We will solemnly carry out that duty.
Very well. Excellently put. Just the type of person Beatrice-sama can't handle.
She's been taking such a far-sighted view of things lately. I must have tormented her too much last time. Speaking of which, didn't I do the same to Butler? Am I still soft? Or is the way I cornered them lacking? In any case, she's just no fun. However, it seems you will still entertain me, right? Kanon! Compared to the two who had taken a far-sighted approach, there was a painful anguish in Kanon's face. Kanon was still far too young to accept his demise, after being told off by a suddenly appearing witch. Kanon, I hate boredom more than anything, and the fact that the other two have immediately accepted their deaths isn't amusing at all. So I hope you don't betray my expectations. Are you trying to make me your plaything? Kanon realized that he was being provoked. However, no matter how furiously anger spurred him on, His opponent was a witch. He was furniture. He hadn't had a chance of victory from the beginning. But the witch was expecting that he'd struggle in vain and writhe around, and was even looking forward to it. Just thinking about that was frustrating enough to get his blood boiling. He was disappointing the witch by refusing to resist like the other two. The only way he could strike back at her. Eldest of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory, Lucifer, arise! Lucifer of Pride, right here. Kanon. It would be far too cruel to force furniture to fight a witch. No matter how much anger spurs you on, you would have no hope in battle without a chance of success. Of course, such a battle would be boring for me as well. So let it be furniture against furniture. Why not resolve it with a battle between you two? That should be enough to allow you to some hope for victory, right? Forgive me, Beatrice-sama, but how could I be inferior to this good-for-nothing furniture? As if this cutie would have any chance against me. Prove that you can defeat my furniture, the 7 stakes of purgatory? If you manage to win through, let us see. I will let you select the 5 who will escape becoming one of the 13 sacrifices. Really? Let's go. All in on Kanon. All in, because he's going to choose Jessica. And that means I get to enjoy another episode full of Jessica. Come on, go. That's my horse right there. I will welcome the 5 you recommend into the Golden Land without any conditions. How about that? Kanon understood that he was being provoked. However, the witch's offer was very tempting. By this point, Kanon couldn't care less about this evil ceremony the witch and the rest were trying to carry out. On the contrary, it was much more important that he remain alive so that he could be invited to the Golden Land and have his wish granted by Beatrice there. You cried, saying you had enough of being furniture, right? I shall grant your desire. I shall give you that human body you wanted so much you cried yourself to sleep. What do you say? That way you and Jessica could be together, yes? Oh, just perfect! You may recommend that Jessica and yourself be invited to the Golden Land. If you alone finding happiness is an unsatisfying solution for you, then you can add in Shannon and George to the one she loves. If you're worried about duty, then you can also add Genji. Oh, that's 5 people. Isn't that enough, Kanon? With this much of a reward. You won't let me get bored, will you? She's just playing with you. There is no need to listen to her. I don't like it. Are you okay with this, Nessan? Beatrice couldn't hide her evil smile at those words. I don't like it. I want to be happy. I've had enough of being furniture. I want to become human and have normal love. I want to know that the ocean is blue like you. How young. I'm jealous. That's why I like the young ones. Hey yo. I'm leaving it at that. Genji, Shannon, stay back. Kanon, Lucifer, forward. As you command. All 3 of you. Hey, I said I wasn't saying nothing else. I'm moving on. I don't like it. That way you look down on me. As if Beatrice-sama would be impossible, but with me, at least you have a chance. I really don't like it. That was probably humiliating for Lucifer. But at the same time, she was also happy that she was lucky enough to have this adorable prey to herself. Come, furniture of the witch. Don't think that you can look down on me forever. What is this music? I mean, this is all hogwash. This is all fake. I can just skip all of this, you know? This is all just the wind. Kinso forgot to close the door, the window. I'm so scared. Don't get out of here, dude. Get out of here. Go back. I'm so scared. Kana needs to win. He needs to win. Please, for Jessica. So, Battlers, isn't this a fun show? Damn it. Another weird thing's happening. Like I ever believe in a magic battle. Look! Don't turn your eyes away! Look at it! Look! It's magic! It's furniture! No matter how much you try to deny me in magic. Look! If you've got all this happening right in front of you, it'll be a waste to miss it, don't you think? Look! Just stop thinking. Magic exists. This is fantasy. Don't close your eyes. Look closely. Look. Damn it. I won't accept witches. I won't accept magic. But if it's being done right in the open like that, what am I supposed to say? Damn it. Come now. Don't turn away. Look closely, okay? Magic exists. This is fantasy. So stop playing detective. I know your secret. You actually don't really like to think things through, right? Then just stop. Look. It's gotta be fantasy. Shut up. Don't talk to me. It's just a win, bro. It's just a win. Have you seen the new Superman movie? Yes, I have, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Move out the way, Valto. I want to see the fight. That's what I'm saying. This guy's getting stubborn. Why don't you apologize and crawl on the ground right now for being so conceited that you thought you could beat me? If you did, I wouldn't mind forgiving you, okay? Then you wouldn't have to have your skin ripped off when you're still alive, or get lashed all over your body as you squirm until you die. You're so cute, so apologize. If you do, I'll finish you off so gently while it still feels great. Be silent, furniture of the witch. I have no intention of speaking with you. So you're saying you think nothing of me? That disrespectful gaze of yours is really ticking me off! Yes! No! Yes! No! Kanon-kun. Isn't he stronger than he was against Satan? This is why humans are so frightening. In fact, sometimes they even become witches and treat demons as butlers. So, which should I cheer on? Yes! No! Are you saying this guy's on par with me? Don't look down upon me. As long as you have that pride, you'll never defeat me. You speak of Lucifer, the oldest of the seven sisters of Purgatory, and say that I cannot win? How conceited! Every time Kanon strikes, like my heart skips a beat because I think like, oh, he won. Yes! The glowing red curve extended straight from outer Kanon's arm, pointing at Lucifer's throat just beneath the tip of her chin. My goat! Yes! I was flabbergasted. I couldn't close my mouth. I was just holding my breath because I was scared. I was scared. I wanted to make sure before I started cheering. What is this? How could I? There must be some mistake. As she ground her teeth in irritation, she tried to deny the truth right before her eyes. But no matter how much she believed in her own superiority, it didn't change the facts right in front of her. That brief bit of them standing there while the blades clashed didn't remind. That is great. And there were two people talking in that scene too. Oh, that's genius comparison. That's my La Cabra. Yeah! Oh, well done, Kanon. Wonderful. You haven't bored me. How pitiful my furniture is compared to that. Lucifer, you are boring, milady. Was this opponent really too much for you to handle? I'm disappointed, eldest of the 7 states. It would have seemed like mere rebuke to an outsider. However, furniture serving the witch knew that kind of severe treatment was promised by the rebuke, and understood what had been left unsaid. What? You good-for-nothing furniture! Bye-bye. She howled. Abandoning her last bit of pride, she made her body explode, exposing her true form. That form was a demon snake, which bounced off the walls surrounding the room. Oh. How could you shame me so much? Kill, 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 kill! You blockhead! Even though you can't even follow my movements anymore, I won't play around anymore. I'm seriously mad. I'll pierce your heart in one blow. I'll plow right through you, make a fountain of bright red blood reach the ceiling. Die! Good. No way. After flying about wildly for some time, with the speed approaching the limits of what a human eye could follow, Lucifer flew at Kanon's heart. I'm scared. I don't look. I'm not silent because I'm sad that Kanon died. I'm just scared of what could happen. Either Kanon is dead, horrible, or someone blocked it for him, also horrible. She could tell that it was Kanon's blood by the sweet taste of it. But she quickly noticed one thing. She hadn't pierced his heart. Oh. This is why humans are frightening. Did he catch it with his hand or something? Would you like some black tea? I am fine for now. This is so amusing. I don't even need any. Kanon. You were arrogant again. I told you that you wouldn't be able to defeat me. The floor was stained with dripping blood. It really was Kanon's blood, but it wasn't flowing out from his chest. Please, dude. Whatever happens next, I need the manga panel for it, because I don't think there's gonna be a CG for it. He had to have caught it with his hand, like let it pierce his hand so it doesn't reach him. Kanon had sacrificed his own left hand to protect his heart. That's so cool! I need the Magnum panel. Yes, on in my liege. Thank you. Lucifer was arrogant. Even though she'd been given enough time to realize that this was an opponent capable of countering her, in her pride she had believed him to be worthless. She had gotten careless. So just as she had announced, she had aimed for his chest, trying to pierce his heart. Because she was arrogant, she hadn't even thought of aiming for somewhere other than the place she had announced. No, maybe she had thought about it a little. However, her pride would not allow her to aim for a different spot. After all, she was Lucifer of Pride. Kanon, withstanding the pain, grasped the demon's stake, sticking deep into his left hand, strongly with his right hand, and pulled it out. Oh, I have to get hiccups right now. When she heard the sound of breaking bones and even more blood dripping down, Shannon looked away reflexively. There was an air hole in the back of the pierced hand so big you could clearly see through the other side. Kanon's face was filled with pain, but right now, he had won without a doubt. The demon snake he was gripping with his right hand turned back into Lucifer again, so that Kanon was now gripping exactly where her neck was. It's my victory, Beatrice! Kanon didn't hold back at all with the hand gripping Lucifer's throat. She had challenged him again after their fight had already been decided. Kanon had no obligation to be considerate. But even so, Kanon released the witch's furniture. Was it his naive humanism, his pity for another furniture, or a final bit of respect for the witch? In any case, when she was released, Lucifer fell face down on the ground. Let us see this, I gotta see this. Oh, yeah, I clicked with the hand at the forearm, but that is, oh my, that's gnarly! I didn't see the second tunnel. Oh, that's deep. They made him look so good looking. Oh my gosh, the second page. They gave him so much aura. That's so peak. I'm so glad I asked. Oh my goodness. This art is phenomenal. It never ceases to amaze me. Wow, thank you. That's wonderful. Such beautiful art. Watching and moaning over the pain in her throat. Spectacular, Kanon. Your great efforts have proven the correctness of some of Kim's research. Donovan was clapping his hands. Kanon, who had won at great cost and had a wound on his left hand that wouldn't close, Donovan's applause was only felt like a mockery. All possibilities dwell within the human heart, was it? My, this is why humans are frightening. Well done, Kanon. You were most victorious. Spectacular! Are you okay? Kanon good. Shannon ran up to him and wrapped a handkerchief around his left hand, which was still spraying blood. That was incredible, Kanon. Truly incredible. Even I was hoping at least a little for an upset. That you didn't let me down makes you truly splendid furniture. I think better of you now. I honestly think better of you. You haven't forgotten our promise, right? Beatrice. Indeed. Of course I haven't forgotten. Witches and demons may be inhumane. However, we are much more noble than humans when it comes to keeping promises. I will not go back on my word. I guarantee that if you want, I would give you the right to decide the 5 people who would escape becoming the 3 sacrifices. Beatrice, it's not like When Beatrice waved her pipe, heaven and earth turned over just for Lucifer. So as a horribly natural result, she fell onto the ceiling. The ceiling doesn't seem that high to people standing on the floor. Get rotated, idiot! However, people fell on it upside down and head first usually don't agree. My lady, isn't that a little much? Perhaps you're right. I suppose I'll forgive her. Rotated again. Beatrice waved her pipe again. When she did, the magic that had been affected Lucifer was relieved. So as a horribly natural result, this time she fell properly back onto the floor. Forgive me! What are you so afraid of? I have already forgiven you, haven't I? So, Kanon, shall we continue? Continue what? You aren't saying you want me to finish her, are you? Ah, no. It isn't over yet, right? What is it? Stop dodging the question. I did promise to you your reward, didn't I? If you could defeat my furniture, the 7 stinks of purgatory, right? Come, arise, the 7 stinks of purgatory! Crap! I knew when she said that it was weird, but I just moved on. And also now I'm double mad because Ruby beat me to what I was about to say. This game is so deeply based on the divine comedy, so it makes sense that it has dark humor. I'm double mad. I'm ending stream after this scene finishes. I'm gonna go eat, but I'm ending it double now because I'm mad. The 6 younger sisters of the worthless elder sister. The air split with shrill laughter, and as a golden splash scattered about, the remaining 6 sisters of Purgatory showed themselves. All the 7 sisters of Purgatory were here after Kanon was able to defeat one only by sacrificing his left arm. By now, Kanon regretted his thoughtlessness in accepting the witch's challenge. He had been foolish to assume that a game came against a witch would be on even footing. Lame. Onisama, why are you crawling on the floor? You people... I told you Onisama's useless. Even though she acts like she's so great just because she's the oldest, that's the only one on the outside. That's only on the outside. Yeah, seriously! Lucifer Onisama, your disgraceful behavior will damage the reputation of us all! Know your shame, you novice! Kanon-kun, that was totally awesome. But don't get cocky, okay? Lucifer Onisama brags all the time, but she's no big deal compared to the rest of us sisters. That's why I'm always saying Lucifer never shouldn't do anything. Just let her keep bragging all the time. After all, those of us with talent can handle all the tough jobs. It is ironic that Belfag or Sloth is saying that. What are you gonna do, Onisama? Out of respect for your pride, we were planning to stay out of your way in the hopes that you challenge him again in the bent-up body of yours. But Kanon-kun sure is tough, right? Right now, no matter how strong you struggle, there's no way you can win, right? You people... Everyone is here, which is a Smash reference, and also refers to me wanting to... Ban the guy, 3 minutes max, ban the guy. My, you sisters are always so lively. Is this any time to fight amongst yourselves? It's only together that you're the 7 sisters of Purgatory, correct? Now, play nice and execute the tasks I give you. And swiftly, okay? Hey, Lucifer Onisama. If you want to borrow the power of your little sisters, then just say it, okay? We want to hear you ask us for help with your own mouth. Do you plan to mock me even more? I, the foolish, weak, ugly, and shameful Lucifer, the eldest sister, begged my younger sisters to save me. Come on, let's hear it. If you let us hear it, then we'll save you. That's a deal, right? Yeah, everyone? You bitch! The 7 sisters of Purgatory unanimously closed in on their worthless sister, abusing her. Even Kanon, who had been fighting for his life until a second ago, couldn't bear to look at it. That's it! I could say something like that! Quickly now. Clearly we won't make any progress here with it alone. Hurry up, let the 7 sisters strike Kanon. My, what is the matter, Lucifer? That is an order from a lady, is it not? How cool. After grinding her teeth over and over after hearing her sister's curses, Lucifer trembled all over and answered her sister's request. Foolish. Weak. Ugly. And shameful. Shameful. Lucifer, the eldest sister. Beg. The girl known as Pride was finally unable to endure the words she was saying and broke down crying. However, the 6 younger sisters kept giggling cold-heartedly. That's rough. Wait a sec. Don't try to trick us by crying. You haven't finished saying it. That should be enough. Come, sisters, let us display our power. I won't be satisfied until I hear the whole thing, okay? Come on, Anasama, keep going. That's enough! Come on! This shame affects us all! We won't let them leave here alive! Okay, how should we play with this pitiful furniture? Any wonderful plans? Yes! BLC thinks the 7 of us should get along and split Kanon up between us. Good idea. That will all of the sisters can get along. Then I'll take the head. I'll leave the limbs and guts to you all. No! I'll get the head! There's no way that promise will mean anything, right? First one there wins. Kanon, if you got any ideas for how we should kill you, just tell us, okay? The 7 sisters will kill you in an awesome way. Damn it. You've shamed me so deeply! Slicing you into 8 pieces won't be enough! I'll slice you into 100 pieces! Here we go, everyone! Yes, Son-sama! Yeah! The 7 of them burst at once. They had no intention of playing or boasting. This time, they would genuinely follow their master's order, take Kanon down swiftly. The 7 sisters jumped around the room faster than the eye could see, examining how they could best kill Kanon. They tortured Kanon with their cruel giggles, sometimes making a close pass at him. They kept scrubbing his arms, shoulders, and cheeks, gradually carving red letters to his body. At that moment, Shannon dashed up behind him, holding on to him so that she blocked the way to his body at least a little. At the same time, a red cylinder wrapped around the 2 of them like a beam of light sent from heaven. That cylinder repelled the evil ones who tortured Kanon. What? You're mean! It has nothing to do with you! I see. You must want to play with us. Then I'll take it, all mine! Beatrice-sama, can we take Shannon as our prey? I don't mind, do as you like. But since Kanon alone won't be enough to satisfy your gluttony, you have our deepest gratitude. Come on, I'll make you regret coming out uninvited. I'll turn you into scraps of meat unrecognizable. You won't be able to tell which is which. Mix you and mince you into hamburgers. Idiots, breaking that barrier should come first, right? Don't let your gluttony get in the way of your job. Yes, Onisama. As a horribly natural first action, the 7 sisters began to destroy the barrier Shannon had created. Shannon's barrier certainly was strong. It was powerful enough to impress even Beatrice. With its strength, frail furniture would turn to dust just by touching it, and it was firm like a tree with deep roots. But no matter how big a tree gets, it will eventually surrender to a saw or a hatchet. For the 7 sisters chopping down Shannon's barrier would be annoying but not impossible. A sound like beetles jumping around grew even fiercer and filled the room. The red barrier began to be cut up and eroded away as though with a hatchet, a saw, no, a chainsaw by now. How foolish. Even though you must know that your barrier can't fully protect you from these girls. Why? Because I cannot overlook it. As she uncovered Kanon, who was already at his limit, sprawled on the floor, she spoke resolutely. If you hadn't barged in uninvited, I would have given you a death-like sleep. Why have you gone to all the trouble exposing yourself before the Seven Sisters? Not all deaths are the same. A cruel death will cost you far more anguish than merely dying. Go ahead, do as you like. Just as you always do when you want, Just like you always do what you want, I did what I wanted. At any rate, you're not quite amusing as the present moment. Romance is most interesting when you're wondering whether it will succeed or not. Once it does succeed, a woman like Salmon has finished laying its eggs. I have already tired of you. Thank you. No words from a witch would make me happier. Then at least at the end, let me see you die in a truly entertaining manner. Seven Sisters, can you hear me? Kill Shannon in a way that shows me the limits of brutality.
Shannon.
My apologies. In the end, I wasn't able to reach your level, Genji-sama. You're an idiot, my son. If you just let me be, then you might not have met such a horrible end. No, it's fine. I received the ring from George-sama and lived as a woman. I have protected you and lived as a sister. With this, my life is complete with no regrets. You're pissing me off! That philosophical tick really is irritating! Like I said, your furniture, you don't even smell like a human! Look at me, I am human! Don't spout all philosophical crap like you're more complete than I am, you furniture! How ugly. Are those regrets what you truly are? They aren't regrets! This is called living! With what this about not minding if you die just because you were given a ring? I can understand that it's incomprehensible, disappointing, outrageous, stunning, and it's all useless! Milady, perhaps you're acting a bit undignified. Shut up, furniture! Shannon, do you think I'll let you die so easily? Now's the time to bite your tongue! How pitiful. If you can see yourself reflected in my eyes, then shudder at your own ugliness. Fear not. Once I crushed you up, you'll be much more ugly even while you still live. At that time, Genji softly entered the red barrier. Goats? Perhaps the barrier didn't block those without ill intent. Then Genji gently held her from behind and covered her eyes with his right hand. Genji-sama. You've already done enough. Go to sleep before me. Yes. Thank you very much, Genji-sama. Indeed. After that, Genji softly pressed his left hand near her collarbone. As he did, emanating from that area, a crimson stain gently spread out. When Genji removed his hand, bright red fresh blood oozed from there. It only happened for the first instant, and it was shaped like a crimson rose. And when he removed his right hand covering her face, there was a peaceful expression there, as though she was sleeping. And she fell softly, silently, and slept. Her soul had already been sent to a world where the malicious witch and her furniture could not reach her, no matter how evilly they tortured her. This scene left Beatrice and the Seven Sisters stunned. Only Ronare wore a mysterious smile. Then Genji leaned over Kanon, who was crouching on the floor. You did well. You should sleep now too. Yes. Thank you very much, Genji-sama. Just as he had done with Shannon, he softly covered Kanon's eyes with his hand, then gently pressed that area around Kanon's collarbone with his other hand. And with his hand was removed with the lightness of a feather, there was a crimson rose there. But that rose shape quickly turned into the stain of bright red blood pouring out. What is that? What a boring person. Even though it's so fun to poke the balloon of life with a needle so that it forcefully explodes. Spectacular, Genji. You truly are furniture. Thank you very much. Well then, Badri-sama, Runabe-sama, with this as my final task, allow me to rest. Damn you, snatching away my fun. Why don't I take all the thrashing and mashing I want to do with them and give it to you instead? Beatrice faced him with an unsatisfied expression, but Runabe spoke quietly to Genji with a soothing smile. You have worked hard. You are my greatest servant. As a final gift, I shall bestow upon you a peaceful sleep fitting for all the labors you have performed. What? Wait, it's not your place to... When Runabe snapped his fingers, Genji slumped to the floor like a puppet with his strings cut, suddenly and yet gently. He crumpled, falling into a sleep that no witch could call him back from. It was filled with kindness as he slept, as the sleep he had given Shannon and Kanon. What was that, Runabe? What a boring anticlimax. Are you not a mighty great witch, my lady? What happened here is hardly worthy of your concern. It isn't like you to let the provocation of someone like Shannon get to you. What was it that had Beatrice so irritated? Was she still unable to remove the thorn of Shannon's words? Runabe laughed lightly as though laminating the complexity of humanity in a woman's heart and orders the seven sisters to go. After all, there were still 2 sacrifices left to be for the first twilight. The seven sisters disappeared in ecstasy. What a beautiful ending. That was so good. Oh man, now I get it. I like Runabe now. He's goated. That was so good. And like I said, I must now go to eat. But also, like I said, even though I like how the title says, we shall return later. But don't hold your breath. It's going to be later, like way in the evening, I believe. Maybe, maybe I'll stream early, but just saying, it could be any time today, but we will come back. So yes, that was incredible. What a fantastic chapter. Just wow. That was just lovely. I'm just happy. I am serene. I am serene in my soul. Like 4 minutes from now. We're never getting another stream. Let's see these panels before I go though. I'm going to cry. No. I can't. I wasn't prepared for that. That's so lovely. I'm looking at the first page. Genji hugging them from behind. That is so cute. Oh. That was good. Dude. I'm sure the manga as a collective is pretty mid. Maybe. But these little moments, just like translating moments from the game visually, it's so good. This is what I was imagining when I was reading. Oh man, that's so lovely. Oh, I'm looking at the last page now. Beatrice's face. Wow. The expressions in the manga are so incredible. That's right, I apologize. I mix Ruby telling me about the manga with Ruby hating on the anime. the anime is the thing that's mid, according to Ruby. Well, at least what he has said. Yes, I confused them there. But yeah, never mind. Yeah, I can see that the manga is great because the manga, every panel I've seen has just translated everything so wonderfully. Like, this is just so soft and inviting and warm and... that's great. Fantastic. Anime I can... Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah. But now I must bid adieu. May I see you all later? And thank you for watching. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. It never disappoints. Bye bye.